Welcome to a couple of monkeys.
My mother had passed away last year, and my father recently joined her. After Mom died, Dad had bought a urn for my mother's ashes. Before he passed, he asked me to go ahead and make him a box that both his and Mom's urns can fit inside. Dad requested the box be made out of hickory, and a good friend of mine had donated a hickory board just for this purpose.
We had the boards planed earlier, and Tim went ahead and squared them up on the table saw. He adjusted the fence to the rough length of the top and the bottom of this box. Then he made the cuts along the width. The width of the box was wider than boards available, so we went ahead and cut the sapwood off of 2 boards and joined them together to make it look like one seamless board.
Now I go ahead and square up the boards and remove the sapwood from the outside just a tad. Now we resaw the top and bottom of the box so it is about a ½ an inch. Now with the rest of the board, I went ahead and cut the other 4 sides of the box. I went ahead and squared up the boards one last time before setting the table saw to 45 and cutting my mitered butt joints. After I got done doing the mitered butt joints, I went ahead and set the table saw to a 90 and started cutting the grooves in which the top and bottom of the box will sit in. Go ahead and get the top and bottom of the box and do a good dry fit. Finally, I go ahead and glue the urn together, incorporating the top and bottom, making it look really nice.
After the glue had dried, Tim went ahead and made small cherry legs for this box. Unfortunately, we lost the footage. This box was quite large, so we had to make a special sanding sled to get the box all leveled. Next was Tim's favorite part, sanding. He gave the entire box a good amount of sanding. He especially made sure that the top is all leveled so he can use that as a reference when it's time to cut the lid. After he was satisfied with his sanding, he took out his spline jig to cut beautiful splines in the box.
After cleaning up the splines, I went ahead and incorporated some walnut from my mother's home in Saybrook.
Then he used the same piece of walnut to make a handle for this box. Then Tim went ahead and sanded down the box one last time to get all the splines flush to the box. He also sanded down the handle so it's nice and smooth.
Now I go ahead and set up my router table and round over all of the edges so they're not so sharp. Now a quick sanding over all the newly rounded areas.
Then it was finally time to cut the top off. Tim took that nicely leveled top surface, used it as a reference, and cut the top.
Now I went ahead and sanded the top and bottom of the box so when they connected together they would be flush. Now using an extra piece of cherry, I went ahead and cut out long strips that I could make a little rabbet so both the top and bottom of the box could sit together and hold snugly. Using a Dremel, I went ahead and took off just enough material so both pieces of the box would hold together.
Dad wanted 2 pictures engraved on his urn. This first picture is a charcoal drawing from Mom's side, and the second one of the elk is from Dad's side. It is a watercolor portrait drawn by one of his aunts.
We do some computer magic and start engraving these images onto the wood. We went ahead and engraved Mom and Dad's name on the top of the box, Dad on the left and Mama at the right, just as they would sleep in bed at real life. And Dad's picture of the deer went on the front.
And here is how it turned out. I think it looks beautiful.
The images on the boxes represent both the beauty and difficulty of life. The beauty of nature on the side and the struggle against nature on the top. My mom used to read a poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson, Crossing the Bar. and it always reminded me of the struggle of life and being able to push through the difficulties and accepting death. The poem goes like this: sunset and evening star, and one clear call for me, and may there be no moaning of the bar when I put out to sea, but such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full of sound and foam, when that which drew from out the boundless deep turns again home. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out are born of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar. If you have watched to the end, me and my family thank you dearly. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe.